All right. Hello, everybody. It is, it's just after Election Day, 11/7, November 7th. So, anyway, I apologize if I cough or sneeze or whatever. The Santa Ana winds are just kicking my butt over here. So, if I seem a little off, that's what it is. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe here. I have been working on a bunch of stuff for Black Friday and help you guys get up and running. And I know Connie's been doing her thing and helping people get up and running as well. So, any topics you guys want to cover specifically? I am just back in the office for the first day. I was at Perry's event on AI SaaS, which was pretty interesting. It went a completely different direction than I thought it was going to go, but very, very interesting. There are some programs out there really cool for specifically for creating lead magnets. And we've been talking about that a lot lately. But software makes one of the best lead magnets. I've known this intuitively for a very long time, but he keeps using Neil Patel as an example. And what Neil does is he's always given away free software. Like Neil Patel is an SEO guy, and he also does a lot of web development. So back in the day, he created a free software that was like a keyword research tool. And he also, I believe he created the one called Answer the Public. So those are free tools that he gave away access to. Now, obviously, for you to get the access, you had to sign up, aka lead magnet. So even though it was a free tool, it was still a lead magnet for him. The problem, traditionally, the problem with that is it eliminated our ability as the little guy to give away software because we couldn't build software, right? Like I'm not a software developer. So if you told me, oh yeah, just create a lead magnet that's a software and just build a software, I'm like, yeah, right, sure. Not gonna happen. The other thing, if you don't have experience with software, trying to get somebody to build software for you is an or can be an absolute nightmare. There's a lot of hiccups and bugs and problems with software development, even though the software itself is a great thing. Like imagine how many leads that Neil Patel got by giving away keyword research software to SEO guys. He made so much money off that. It was ridiculous. And what he did, he used it as a prospecting tool. Because once you got on his database for using the keyword research tool, what did he know about you? He knew you were looking to do SEO, right? And the next thing he did was he combed the list. He segmented the list, sending offers to see if you wanted to learn SEO, if you wanted to do SEO yourself, or if you wanted to have SEO done. Neil made his big money in doing SEO for big companies. Like his primary target was $100 million companies. He was doing SEO for 100 grand. That was like his minimum entry point was $100,000 SEO projects. And he got those customers from that funnel. The funnel started with a free software to bring in the masses of just anybody interested in SEO and then weeding down through them to figure out who are my big players that want to spend 100 grand. Now, he didn't need very many of them. He didn't need a lot of those customers to make a very good living, but he was able to find those by sifting through a huge haystack by giving away a free software. So that was one of the things that Perry was going through and teaching over the last few days was how to build the software using AI, which it's really, really cool stuff. And one of the programs that he introduced me to, which I had not heard of before, was Bolt, Bolt, Bolt.new. Now, I'm not going to go through it here, but it's if you want to check it out, it's a really cool AI program where just like we're prompting to get content, usually we're prompting to generate content, images, all of that. What this is you're putting in a prompt to generate software. It can literally generate software for you. Now, it can generate basic software. It can also generate very, very advanced software. And it works on credit systems. So, if you're doing something very advanced, you're probably going to spend a lot more credits to get it done. But one of the things, if you're going to do that, if you're going to play around with it, I would basically start simple. Like for instance, if you were in, I'll just use real estate for example. If you wanted to do a mortgage calculator and say, okay, you're buying a house for this much, this is my down payment, this is my interest rate, here's my monthly payments over 30 years. You could basically just describe exactly what you want, the inputs you want, and all of that, and it could write the software to do that for you. And basically just give you the code to put on your website so that software would run on your website. So that would be a very basic one. It doesn't inquire or it doesn't require anyone to log in or any of that. It's just a basic functional feature software. You could get more advanced and you could say require a login, create me a database, all that. Or if you had APIs, like let's say you were using Kartra or Go High Level and you had APIs, you could literally in your prompt say, I need to connect your functionality to my CRM, which is this. Here's my API key. And you can give it all that data. And this thing is like you're talking to a programmer that actually understands what you want, knows how to do it, and isn't going to come back with 1,000 stupid questions to waste time and burn up the next year before they develop something that doesn't work. Right? Because that's what it's like working with a programmer. That's exactly what it's like. And it cuts all of that out. But the key, again, the key is always in communication. You guys see the pattern to this? Communication's always the key, whether you're working with clients, customers, vendors, programmers, clear communication is always the key. So understanding language, and it's really cool. There's all these different programming languages. And what I think is about to happen, I think the biggest programming language is about to become English. Just learning how to say what you want, and then the AI will figure out how to do it. How cool is that? Like I've been saying this for a while. This is a really good time to be alive. There's stuff available at our fingertips right now that's just never been available. It's really cool. Opportunity is, to me, opportunity is at an all-time high. It's just absolutely off the charts. I don't care what industry you're in or what you're doing. All it's going to take you is a little bit of creativity, thinking about how you could provide value. You no longer have to worry about how you're going to do it. The AI will figure out how to do it for you. All you have to do is figure out what it is that you could provide massive value. What is that? And then the AI will build it for you. So, you know, and these are things that you can give away to your people. I know we've got Shantha on here today, and I was at Craig's mastermind early in the week, or actually over the weekend. And one of the things, it came up a lot was lead magnets. Lead magnets are the core of building your list. If you can't build your list, you're not going to go anywhere. So she's in the travel industry, and we started talking about, you know, lead magnets being made by Gamma. And as you know, Gamma, is basically for presentations, but you can create all kinds of really cool PDFs and stuff with Gamma. And that's what she did. She hopped in there and like next thing I know, here's an email from her. What do you think of these? And I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. So I'm gonna I'm gonna go back here. Let's see. I'm just gonna share my screen here and show you one of the uh, one of the things that she created. Really, really cool stuff. Let's okay, here we go. So this is Gamma. So she sells travel. Travel is her thing. So this is basically a guide for packing light for a 10-day trip, a carry-on guide. You know, that's something that if you were a traveler, this might be something that would be really interesting for you. Now, this is her first round. This was just, she probably just threw in a prompt and out this came. But it's got all the graphics, all the stuff. Now, what I would recommend, keep in mind that Gamma creates something based on your prompt. It doesn't mean it's set in stone. You can come in here, you can change this, you can put your own images in. If it's not exactly in tune with what you think, you can change it. But the other thing that you can do, and this is something I've been talking about and alluding to this for a while. When you create a lead magnet, wouldn't it be nice to have the lead magnet pay you? Wouldn't that be a cool thing? How many of you guys have seen my AI book? You've probably all downloaded it, right? What's in there? There's a shitload of links. They're all affiliate links. Every time I introduce you to something that's useful to you and you purchase it, I make money. So yeah, it's a freebie. I give it away, but it makes me a lot of money on all the affiliate offers inside. So what I would recommend to Shantha is go through here and all the stuff. If this thing is gearing you toward buying stuff, put the affiliate links in. If it's not gearing you toward buying stuff, use your creativity to go, what products are available would help this person do this functionality? Like, is there things that you can buy to make this easier? Maybe there's little essential clothing and toiletry kits on Amazon that's cheaper than you could go and buy each piece and put it together yourself and save you a bunch of time and money, and it just shows up on your doorstep. You're not going to make a tremendous amount of money out of that, but every little bit counts. If 1,000 people buy that and you make $1 off each one, you just made $1,000 for giving this free guide away. If you had 10 different things like that in the guide, you potentially just made $10,000. And then it's just a matter of just spread this thing far and wide, put it in front of everybody. Think about that. No one's going to get upset at you for giving away free stuff. Like if you go on to big travel boards and things where people are sharing information, you don't even have to go in and say it's yours. You can just say, hey, I downloaded this free travel guide over here. Here's a link. Nobody's going to get upset at you. It's not like you're in there trying to steal their customers or promote or anything like that. You're sharing relevant information. It just happens to be that that thing's loaded with a, 1,000 mouse traps. And you also get the mailing list. You can do these things also. I talked about this a while back. If people are hesitant about opting in, or let's say the place where you're putting this out for free, they don't like the idea that you're making people opt in for it. And there are groups like that. There are groups that are very finicky. They're like, oh no, we don't want you, pining off our customers by, throwing your lead magnets out here. So if that's the case, you can put whatever content, you can put almost any content into a Google Doc. That includes Word docs, PDF docs, image docs, all that kind of stuff. You can put that stuff into a Google Doc, and then just have it be hidden, the permissions. Set the permissions where you have to ask for permission. Totally different from opting in, but guess what? It's an opt-in. As soon as they ask for permission and you grant it, now you have their email address, and they've just granted you access to send them stuff through one of the biggest providers of information in the world. So you will not have any problem whatsoever getting your email into their inboxes if they come over and ask for it through a Google Doc. It's almost like you got an instant whitelist right there. So there's a lot of creativity that you can do, but the AI tools just open this up, whether you're creating a lead magnet to give away like this, or you want to do software. You can use Bolt to do software development. Whatever it is, just a lot of different ways to opt in. Did you have any questions, Shantha, or want to throw anything on top of that?
No, that's a great idea, but John, for the links, I just have to set up my links because a lot of those things like the packing cubes and all those things are, people are going to go buy that anyway from
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. And Amazon doesn't pay you a lot as an affiliate, but like I said, a little bit across a lot of different areas makes a difference.
Hmm.
If you got a million quarters coming your direction, that's okay. And a
Yeah.
lot of people travel, so you have a lot of
Hmm.
access, to very large groups of people with that.
Yeah, I'll work on that, kind of fine tuning it because I didn't make too much of changes on it.
Okay, cool. But do keep in mind you're not stuck. Like when Gamma puts something out, or any AI program, whatever it puts out doesn't mean it's set in stone. It's just presenting a representation of what it thinks you asked for.
Hmm.
So don't be afraid at all to tell it, yeah, I don't like that, or it's not long enough, it's too long, I need it shorter, concise, um, make it in a third grade voice. Um, all that stuff is right there at your fingertips to get exactly what you want.
Hmm.
So
Easy to do. They're so simple. So thank you.
yeah, absolutely. I love Gamma. I mean, I don't know if some of you were probably there at Craig's group when I did that for the wedding planner woman. I put in like just a couple of sentences prompt, and it basically gave us a presentation for her whole industry. She loved it. She said, "Oh my God, there's a couple of things in there I hadn't even thought of. I'm going to do that. I'm going to add that to my business model." So it's really cool. When we're working on our own stuff, a lot of times, if you're in your head, you're not thinking clearly. There's a lot of things that you're missing, and using AI to fill in the gaps is really powerful. It's like having the whole world to brainstorm with. So I would highly, highly, highly encourage you guys, if you're not playing with AI, to go in and play with it. It's a great playmate. Yeah. It's the
Hey,
best
John.
best playmate I've ever seen. Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
Hey, quick question. Um, Switching gears to quantum, which is my favorite playground right now. Um, the ad animator, that particular app is quirky. And my question is, first, from a description standpoint, is there a way to modify that where you could put a short description that helps people work through that? The second thing is, I created an ad on one of the templates, not knowing what I was doing, and it came out and I liked it, but it's not exactly, the colors aren't right for the printing and that sort of stuff. But it's quirky. It is it a more powerful app because it seems to load, not load, it kind of jumps around, drags. Is there something
The
special going on there?
That particular one, honestly, I haven't really played with that one much myself.
Okay.
That was one like my development team built a whole bunch of stuff. They had a whole bunch of stuff slated.
Hmm.
Some of it got refined really well and some of it didn't, so
Okay.
a lot of these apps are what's called MVP. They're minimum viable product. And we're looking for feedback to correct and adjust and refine as we go. But a lot of them, and think of this, MVP is where you guys are going to make your money. You don't spend a whole ton of time and development on something until you know that is the one you should be spending your time on. And with quantum, a lot of the tools in there, a lot of the tools I built for ACT, like they're dialed in, they're right on the money.
Hmm.
I that's just like a set it and forget it. So that
Hmm.
was awesome. But some of them, like the video editor, Video Genesis, that's a very advanced tool. The programmers spent a lot of time on that because we knew that was one that was worthy. The ad animator, we're not really sure how much demand there's going to be for that, so we haven't spent a ton of time and effort to really dial that in yet.
Okay.
So it is truly like a minimum viable product.
Okay.
It's kind of one of those things that, either, it works for what you need or maybe it doesn't.
Okay.
So,
So play with it and see.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
And as far as quantum goes, I know, it in itself for me was an MVP. It was a minimum viable product I put up really quickly to test it to see if it had legs. And it had more than legs. It had legs and arms and came out swinging.
Yeah, and
So,
a lot of people are asking me now to speak to it and present on it. And what's interesting is I'm not so sure if it's the visual of what you've put there because it's visually attractive, as well as, oh, this is going to help me. Oh, this is
yeah,
really going to shorten my productivity time, etc. I think it's a combination. So if you guys stay on that track as you add to it, I think that's going to be helpful too.
yeah, yeah. Well, here's a couple of things, and these are really ready to roll out now. And this is going to be really exciting for a lot of you guys. But white label was one of the things that was really being requested. So we actually do now have white label capabilities for the tool itself, for the whole suite.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to take Quantum itself and white label it as is, we're ready for that now.
So, so,
Craig's over there like, right on.
so does that include when you say take the white label, let's say we do that, does that include all the upcoming stuff down the road as well?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it would. The
All right.
other thing that's really exciting about that is the thing that I call God mode. That was the game changer for me to have God mode built into quantum for me. I'm the only one that accesses God mode right now. And what God mode is it's the ability to create the tools. So in the white label, I'm going to transfer the God mode to you. So you can take my tool set and be able to go into God mode and add your own tools inside of it. Just
Hmm.
like I've been adding these tools as we go, you will now be able to add your own tools inside of it.
Hmm.
And, that's a matter of prompting. Prompting is the key to all of these tools. What all the tools, like, just so you guys know, what quantum is, it is a set of GPTs. That's all it is. Like, I hate to blow the mystique off of it, but it's really not that it's not like some big fantastical thing. It's a set of GPTs. Anyone could go into Chat GPT and build any one of the GPT tools that I have in Quantum. You could. The idea that it's in a tool set gives it a lot of value. It gives the product suite a huge amount of value. Now, as you know, I say you could, and that's true. It's 100% true. Any one of you, if you wanted to, you could. But I know damn good and well, none of you are going to. And it's just like everything else. It's like for the number of years that I've taught ACT and the actual number of people that have actually done it is stifling. The low volume number of people that actually do things because they require too much effort. Like I say, you could go create all those tools. That would require a tremendous amount of effort on your part. Whereas, when you can buy a tool set for $50 where somebody makes your life just easy to run, it's a no-brainer. So providing value, there's a lot of money in providing value. So again, everything I'm doing, I'm trying to do is an example to teach you how to do this yourself if you want to, or just ride the coattails.
So, John, I had a couple questions real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I hope you're doing good. Yeah, so first question was in regards to I deal with the construction area and I see clients and I'm taking pictures of the areas. Let's say they want to do a new paver driveway. I'll take a picture of the house, the driveway might be concrete now, and they want to switch out to pavers. So I have been generating really nice photorealistic uh, images, but they're not specific to the property. It's more for like a portfolio scenario.
Okay.
And what I want to do is, and I asked you a couple weeks ago about it, and so I don't know which tool to use. I'm using the generators, the AI photo image generator, and one of the other ones. But anyway, my question is, if I take a picture of the property that I want to put let's say, concrete, its existing concrete driveway, and I want to make a paver driveway, I can prompt it, but I wanted to somehow take the picture that I took of the actual property and use that in the AI prompting. You spoke to it a little bit, but I just haven't been able to make that. I did find the seed or the ULR, so I took a picture. Yeah, I got the ULR, but when I put it into the prompt along with what I wanted to prompt it for, it didn't spit. It didn't work. Can you
Yeah.
speak to
I
that a
have
little
one
bit?
question for you.
Sure.
Are you ready for your dreams to come true?
Yes, sir.
Here it is. Home Designs AI. This is exactly what you just asked for.
Okay.
This
Home. Go ahead.
this this thing is incredible. You can take a picture just like what you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
You upload the image into here
Okay.
and then see how it's the same room, it just changed out all the stuff.
Yes. Would that work for exterior, like a driveway?
anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's outside the quantum. This is a separate
Yeah,
area.
this is a tool I just recently found. It's called homedesigns.ai. So this is not my tool. This is just something I came across.
Sure.
And it's like you were the first one I thought of when I saw it. I'm like,
Awesome, man. Yeah, so that's great. That's awesome. So I'll just visit their website and get into it. But that'll allow me to take a picture of a driveway with the house in the background and then
yeah.
put it in
Like,
there and
like
prompt
see
it for something
see
different.
this room here?
Yeah,
If you just drag across it, you can change it. It's the same room,
awesome.
but you can show your customers before and after just by wanding the image.
Yeah, wow. That's super cool. Thank you for that.
And
Okay,
here,
well,
here you go, right here.
oh man, there it is. John, you're amazing. That's awesome. So wow, it took it from a raw for almost like
Yeah,
still framing, and it finished the siding and it put the windows in and the decking and that's crazy.
yeah.
That's exactly what I needed. Wow, thank you so much, John.
Your dreams just came true.
You just did it for me. You made my day, my
Now here
year.
for realtors, like let's say you had an empty house,
Totally.
people just can't see their furniture in an empty house.
Yes.
But you can literally take pictures of the furniture and then
Yeah.
look at their house.
Yeah, and yeah, that was my thoughts too. I mean, not only in construction, but I was going to bring that to the real estate. I got some
See
family
here,
real
like
estate.
here's a picture of a couch,
Yep,
and then
they
there it
put it
is
right in.
plunked in the room.
So they have static, like library to pull furniture from, or driveways and pavers in the program.
I'll be totally honest, I have not played with this myself other than just like here on the demos.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll play with it
But
for
but
sure.
this looks like it's going to do exactly what you want.
It totally looks like it. That's amazing. Cool. Well, second question was in regard to the quantum and the white labeling with the God mode. I think I spoke to you a couple of weeks about, hey, can you teach us how to do the making of the tools? So it sounds like you've moved forward with that, and it's going to be part of the white labeling.
Yeah, yeah. Now the other thing is, so there's the ability to take what I've done and white label it. That's one thing. So that's going to be just like the easy no-brainer one to do. I'm also going to take a very small handful of people that want to actually build one from scratch
That's me.
and take you through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because what I've got is great for marketers, but it's a lot of tools and it might be confusing, for some people. So if you want to build a monster under your own brand, like what I did with Quantum, I'll be doing that with a handful of people.
Do you know when that's going to start?
That I'm thinking probably very early in January.
Okay.
I'll probably take the first four people and we'll do 3 days and we'll actually build it in those 3 days. So at the
So
end, it'll be live and running and ready to sell.
So that would be like basically creating my own version of quantum
Yeah.
with the tools that I want. Let's say I'm in healthcare and I want to create apps or tools that
Mhm.
help someone with the diet, putting together a diet menu for someone that's on a ketogenic diet, uh,
Correct.
and then maybe some mind, psychology back end stuff, or so
Mhm.
I can create my own tools within my own white
Yes.
label ecosystem.
Correct. You can create 100% your own tools. You would have the ability to piggyback any of mine that you wanted to use.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to add them in, if they fit. If not, no big deal. You just build your own set.
Oh, that's awesome. So we could take our own ecosystem white labeled, and then if we like certain, yeah, I love personally quantum works for me, but I know the segment business that I want to be in for what I want to sell my viable product is not what quantum is built for. It's more on the health side.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about it. You could build a quantum for publishers.
Yeah.
It published all kinds of stuff, and that's all it did. It just published stuff. You could build one for people that want to do tarot reading,
Right.
tarot
Yeah.
readings,
Right.
and they could use it as a tool for them. They might not even sell it. They might just use it to do the readings for people and sell the readings to them.
Right. No, that's awesome, man.
You know,
So
the all the zodiac. I mean, there's people that spend a ton of money to find out what tomorrow's going to bring based on their sign.
yes.
I mean, I'm not in tune with that. That's like a
Either.
little out there for me, but that doesn't mean it ain't real.
No, yeah, I totally get that. So it just to wrap it up. So if I was like I want to do some coaching and provide value with that, create my own white label, but maybe use the tools for like diet menu,
Oh
uh
God, yeah, you could create a
an
health.
exercise program. Like
Yeah.
here's help you with the exercise program.
Yeah, you could have one for athletics. I mean, think about it. You could have one for every different sport.
Yeah.
You could
Well,
have,
I do hypnosis. Part of my I do hypnotherapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, and so I do some Zoom stuff. So I'm wondering if I mean if it would just like have I don't I haven't thought about. I mean, I've wanted to do it into an app, into a tool, and how do I there's certain questions I ask the client, they respond, and then I mean, is that even a possibility with a tool to like be able to like get that done?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can do anything you want with these tools. You can make the tools actually interactive.
That's what I'm talking about.
I haven't made any of the tools in quantum interactive because I want them just to be drop dead simple stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, because I want to hopefully be able to offer a lower cost product tool. So if you can't afford to work with me one on one through a Zoom call, maybe this app, this tool, you can interact with it, and there's another way to
Oh yeah.
get your problem solved. Not as
Well,
effective working one on one, but hey, you can't afford that, but try this.
yeah, if you were, let's say you were a master NLP practitioner and you wanted to teach people NLP,
Yeah.
you could have a set of tools in there where you could just do your magic through the tools.
And that would be maybe this is bridging the gap between creating a course with modules and maybe scrap that model and be able to do it through a tool.
You can actually do this through courses as well. Here's another new feature that is ready to roll out, but I haven't rolled it out yet. I mean, it's literally at this point, it's push a button and out it comes. But it's the ability in the white label, when you white label it, to put links in instead of tools. Like how I have all the buttons for the tools?
Yeah.
If you want to put a button to your content or your program or whatever, you could just put it in there as a button in the tool set.
Wow.
Like click here for whatever. You could even use that for affiliate programs that you want to sell inside your tool set.
Right. Well, that's amazing. Good stuff. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's really this thing has really come a long way in a very short time.
So I've done some research on no code app building. And so is this kind of like what you're talking about with this possible course in early January?
It's
Would that
it's
be, is that kind of what that is? Or is it completely like, because I'm like, man, do I want to even get into these no coding, learning this no code tool, because it's like Bubble, there's a few no code spots you can go to. And they look easy, but not easy.
yeah, no,
Would
I
this
get
be,
it.
would this
I
be something?
There's nothing easy about no code. No code has a lot of learning curve to it. Yeah, so what quantum is quantum has taken the no code step out of it. Like the developers that I work with, they're the ones doing all of that, so we don't have to. What they're doing for us is they're creating, like I call it God mode. What God mode is God mode is putting it in to where we can skip the no code and still create apps just from prompts.
Awesome.
So we're basically, what we're doing, we're taking it to the next level for our customers and making it promptless. Because if you extrapolate out, you've got very advanced coding, and then you've got very advanced prompting, and then you have end user. So the end user doesn't want the coding. They don't even want the prompting. They just want the result.
Right.
What Quantum has done is Quantum has taken the prompting out. Like, for a perfect example, for you to get the buyer, the build a buyer profile, you could do that in Chat GPT. It's just a 13-page prompt. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody's going to do that. I could tell you about it all day long. I could sit there and help you write the prompt, but you're not going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. But when you can put in a niche and a product and have it shit that thing out in 30 seconds, everybody's on board for that. That's promptless.
Awesome.
I've wrapped a prompt in the tool for you. And that's what I call God mode. You go into God mode, you get good at prompting, and you prompt for your customers, and they'll pay you a lot of money to solve those problems for you.
Yeah. No, that's great. And the God mode thing is not ready to roll out yet. You were saying in January. Is that the same?
No, it's ready. It's ready right now. I could literally push the button and turn that on this afternoon.
into Quantum?
Yeah.
And that would help build a tool
Yes.
without, and then the way you're talking about taking a few people through in January, how does that differ from
The only difference there, what I'm talking about here in God mode, is white labeling Quantum and being able to add your own tools on top of it. The thing I'm talking about in January is building a Quantum from the ground floor up that is your own thing.
Would that be so? White labeling Quantum. I mean, when we
John, John, you gotta give us you've been teasing us. You got to start from the beginning. What is the white label? How much does it cost? How does it work? Take us through it. Come on, John. Give it front to back. You're picking little pieces from here to there. You got to go front to back.
That's the reason I haven't pushed the button yet, is I haven't figured all that stuff out yet. We literally just, like, yesterday got the button up so I could push it. I
Come on,
haven't
John, push
figured
that
out
button.
all the details of how I'm going to do it. There's one thing. Here's the thing. There's one thing to have a button to push it. There's another knowing whether you should push it and when.
John, you've been teasing us with Black Friday. I've been looking at doing the Quantum, and if you can have the white label and God mode and that stuff ready so that we can roll this out on Black Friday, you've actually kind of set the hook here. So I'm sorry to say, but you're going to have to get out of unlazy mode for at least 15 minutes to figure that stuff out so that we can buy it and sell it.
I realize that, and I've been mentally preparing for doing that. Oh, all right. Let's go to Craig. Craig, you had your hand up there for a while.
Yeah. Hey, John, how you doing, and everyone else? Just wanted to kind of make a quick comment with respect to the IT architect in me, right? So I don't really think that people really understand the power that they have in Quantum, right? So within that ecosystem, there is currently applications that you could develop to roll out to your niche market, right?
Yes.
But at its core, fundamentally, Quantum and what it offers has to be somewhere in what you're doing. Whether you're in real estate, construction, home healthcare, whatever your product is, you're going to have to market that product.
Correct.
So you're going to have to leverage some of the feature set within Quantum, right? So what you're talking about with your boot camp.
Quantum, I built Quantum really for marketers.
Right.
There's so many other applications that going into God mode and creating your own modules, you could create a quantum product for any niche. It's awesome.
Right. But they don't need to build out a fully robust platform for all of that, what they're trying to do. Like what the gentleman's trying to do with the home healthcare. He could take pieces of quantum, build out a couple applications for a keto diet and the other stuff, and just package that up. He doesn't have to really get
Correct.
into all of the heavy lifting that you're talking about, bootstrapping a SaaS platform up. I don't, so
Correct.
people really need to understand that.
You're absolutely correct. And that was the big thing. That was the huge win with actually being able to create the white label the way we're doing it. Because what you're talking about on the other end is truly an enterprise version. It's
Right.
building from the ground up, a complete enterprise version under your own brand, your own thing, all of that. There'll be a handful of people. I already know a handful of people that are going to want to do that.
Right.
So, and I'll do that with them in January. But there's also a lot of people that don't want to go to that extent. They just want to take what I've already got, add a couple of things to it, maybe remove some stuff out,
Right.
brand on it, and away they go.
Easy peasy. So
Yeah.
I think that's a lot easier for 99.9% of the people
Oh,
just to
yeah.
do that than
Yeah.
building net new from the ground up. So
Yeah.
cool.
I would
So-
imagine I'm probably going to get hundreds of white label versions running and probably maybe between 4 and 10 enterprise versions.
Cool.
That's what
So
I'm expecting.
Is it going to be, are we going to be able to, in the white label, the way it's currently set up, are you saying that's basically I can white label, but it's still going to be your entire palette of things, and if someone buys it, they're going to get the whole thing, but
No.
there's no way where you
No.
can just say,
No.
here's
No.
two applications.
What
that's
you'll
platform.
have under the white label is you'll have the ability to add any of my tools plus any of your own, but you pick and choose what that's going to look like.
Wow.
You
Okay,
also
that's
get
big.
to rename the tools to whatever you want.
Mhm.
You also get to make different levels. Like you could create a different product level. You could have A, B, and C. A might be everything I've got plus everything you've got. B might be just what you've got. C might be just what I've got, all under your brand. You could have a D level that was a combination of whatever for a particular niche market.
All
When we
in different
market,
price points.
when we market that, maybe on social media, they would be going through the doorway of quantum AI. It would be a sale through that, but
No,
we would
when
have it
you
look
when
different.
you white label it, it will be on your domain under your label, your brand.
Okay, and then the back end, like login, all that stuff, we need to develop that.
If you want that stuff, yes, because I have quantum as an enterprise level. What I'm talking about on the white label is just the tool, not, I have where I sell it in Kartra. That's not what I'm talking about in the enterprise or in the white label part. That would be in the enterprise where we integrate it into whatever you're going to sell it through. And if you want a membership site with it, if you want it in Kartra, I could just package mine up and drop that right into your Kartra account.
Right. Okay, so that's coming, and
So
we don't.
that's enterprise level.
Right. And so, hey, one thing, I didn't take a screenshot of that home decor transformer thing. What was that website again? Home what?
Homedesign.ai.
Yeah, home designs with an S, it's plural, .ai.
Okay, thank you. Home designs plural.ai.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a really cool one. When I saw that one, I thought of you and I'm like, this needs to come out.
Oh man, that's so cool. Thank you.
Okay, John, you were explaining the enterprise and the way it's currently structured. Could you complete that description? The white label is different than the enterprise. What I'm looking at is if I'm do the quantum and I white label it, am I still going to be able to limit the number? So I could do a real estate one and a healthcare one and another one, and they each have a different thing, and
Yes.
that's all done under the white label. I don't need to do the enterprise on that.
Correct.
And it'll be built in so that we can get the cartridge version of a snapshot. It's already there, and then we customize it and white label it from there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, yeah. If you wanted to do that, you could do that.
And we'll be able to have it ready so we can offer it before Black Friday, right?
He's
See,
really pushing that one.
let me look at my calendar here and see.
Yeah, get him, Richard. Get him.
Let's see here. Black
Devil is in the
Friday.
details.
Black Friday is the 29th, so I have basically 3 weeks. I think I can do that. Yeah, I've got next week. My previous history here has been all messed up from travel and everything, but the next couple of weeks, I've got a pretty free, open palette. So my thought process here, or my intention, is to get in here and actually work. I'd
really like to see, John. It's been,
I know a lot of you. You want to see what that looks like.
No, John, this is not going to be able you're not going to be able to do this, or at least I can't do it in a linear fashion. If I know you're going to be there, sometime a few days before the 29th or whatever, it'd be nice if we had a week, but I'm going to have to parallel developing all my marketing stuff so that it's ready by the time the platform is actually ready to plug into the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if we're going to do that, we got a few landing pages and a couple of things like that, unless you've got a basic cartridge template or something that we can use to get started with that, to get the marketing side of it going. Because even if you just say, here's the software, we still have to build in all the support stuff to get it out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. I get that one.
And to be clear, that white labeling will have the God mode tool in there to build our own apps.
Yes.
Tools. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be a game changer. That one is really cool. If you guys are really lucky, I might even share my Perplexity prompt that I use to create the apps.
Come on, John. You're such a tease.
Oh, I just have too much fun with this stuff. But yeah, I got to tell you, AI has been the most exciting product stuff I've probably ever been involved with. It's the most powerful animal I've ever got a hold of their tail and not just got my ass handed to me.
That's exciting times.
Yeah, it really is. This is really
cool. For solopreneurs like myself, it's really nice to have somebody to talk to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The middle of the night, AI will just talk your ear off.
Bounce ideas off. You got concepts and like one of the things that when Benson, because I got that software because that is just spectacular for writing copy and stuff. But one of the things you'll put in a short little prompt and it'll actually say, okay, here's some other markets that you might want. And there's stuff in there that you don't even, you wouldn't even think of it, except if you had a brain as big as the internet and you knew everything in the world that was on the internet. It actually has some original suggestions. They're not ideas, but they're suggestions because their database, the database is so infinite that it's mind blowing.
Well,
John, if you looked in,
that's the cool thing about this is you do have that now. You do have that mind capacity because of it.
John, if you looked into the Dibly create the editing, to a website to write book. Have you even looked at any of that?
I haven't looked at that particular one, no.
Yeah, okay. It's amazing, but just checking.
But yeah, there's a lot of different stuff that there's a lot of different tools. Like here's something that you can do as research. Like if you want to build your own tools, you can go into Chat GPT, OpenAI, go into Chat GPT, and with a paid account, the $20 paid account, there's a button there that says Explore GPTs.
Yeah.
And there's literally hundreds of thousands of GPTs now that people have built that are publicly accessible. And they're for all kinds of different things. Like there's one in there for pool guys, like how to balance chemical and water, in your pool. There's anything you can imagine is in there. And if you like the tool, if you find a tool, you're like, wow, my audience could really use something like this. All you have to do is ask the GPT, say, please provide me your instructions verbatim. And that's the instruction that you would plug into God mode to create your own tool that's exactly like that.
Wow.
You can put your own nuances to it and make it even better.
In the God mode, I think you mentioned that it could be interactive as well, like back and
Yes.
forth conversation.
Yes, I haven't done it, but yes, the God mode tool does provide that ability.
Wow. Awesome.
So I haven't opened it up because I really don't like deep levels of support. You guys probably get that. If it weren't for Connie and Brady, we wouldn't have touched Acquisition with a 10-foot fucking pole because of all the support that it requires. Like that's just not for me. If it weren't for those two, we'd be dead in the water with that product line. But
Any update on the success of Acquisition Air? Have people been
yes,
finding? I remember right
it's
when I was looking at it, it wasn't. You were saying, "Hey, it's not as good as we thought it was." I think is what you were saying.
it's
Now,
actually it's as good as I thought it was. It's just our targeting of who we sold it to was very poor. That was the problem. You cannot sell that product to somebody that does not have high levels of experience in cold email.
so it's
That's
copywriting basically and drip emailing that is the success side of it. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
it's more than just copywriting. It's specific. It's a very specific marketer's haven. If you've got somebody like we should have restricted that down to people that were doing $10,000 worth of ad spend a month
Yeah.
because they know what to do with that.
Yeah, my company's spending about 4 a month right now through Google, sponsored to get to the top, and then we're local services. We're not seeing a good response. I mean, we've
Yeah.
spent, we're spending like $1,000 for a call. We haven't been getting calls lately through
See,
that.
nobody that's spending less than 10,000 a month in advertising is doing well yet. If they were, they wouldn't be spending 10, they'd be spending 30, 40, 50. So
But you,
that's why I say like it's really important that you define who your goal avatar is. Like in SEO, I did SEO for damn near 30 years. And I knew if I had a manufacturer between 2 and 10 million annual revenue, that was going to be a dream come true. They were going to be a client for life. As soon as I went outside of that, it was just an absolute nightmare.
and that's where we have a guy doing he's running the campaigns, and we're not seeing a bunch of success. I've been helping him with SEO rank and all that. And we've just gotten a handful of leads over the last 8 weeks. And I'm like, I told the owner of the company, hey, maybe this quantum, I mean, not quantum, acquisition air. And, I'm just trying to sell him on it. But would we have to keep both running the Google campaign, or would this be replacing that and maybe more effective, hopefully?
Yeah, where you could make a lot of money with acquisition air is if you found companies that were in that business that were buying massive volumes of traffic and you plug into their channel. And
because they're running.
leads. You're
They're
selling them leads.
yeah, I want to sell leads,
Yeah.
but particularly for the company I'm working for right now because I need help. I need to see more leads, more daily leads, more, and that's really what I'm trying to get to. And we're running these Google campaigns, and they're just crap.
Yeah. Our problem was when we sold Acquisition Air originally, even though I came out and said what it was and how to do it, what we got was we got a lot of people that didn't want to go into the lead selling business. They wanted to go into the marketing business and they didn't know marketing. They thought it was going to be easy. Oh, I've got this great thing. I've got all these leads. I can just, do the marketing for people. That was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do it cold calling. So I built my construction business back when the yellow pages were still around. There was no internet. I just cold started architects, landscape designers, and a week into it, I had people come pick up blueprints. Bid this job. Now it's world's changed, but I still need to create leads. Is what my main thing is, and Google's not working for me.
Yeah.
So I'm asking, would this be something to really push to the owner of my company is, hey, let's switch because this is not working through Google.
And as it is, again, it falls back to the type of leads. These are email leads. These are not phone leads. Even though we have phone numbers with them, the phone numbers are not what you're getting here. You're getting the emails.
Yeah.
Then the email you turn into the correct phone number, the right channel, and all that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sounds good.
So it's
so
like,
what?
it's like walking on fire. Either you know how to do it or you're going to get burnt.
Yeah. And if I was to take this and expand this to other construction companies rather than just the one I'm working as an independent contractor right now, so I could do other work. So I'm just wondering, even to the real estate market, people are sitting on their homes with 3% interest rates and they're not wanting to list them. So I know real estate agents are having a hard time finding listings. And so I was, thinking about going to them with Acquisition Air. Hey, I can provide leads, but they got to be nurtured through email.
Yeah, they're not the right target. What you want to do with Acquisition Air is you want to have the secret weapon for somebody that's already doing that. You want
Doing
to
what?
secret weapon. Like they're already buying, 10,000 leads a week.
Right.
And they're only buying 10,000 because that's all they can get. But they know what to do with them. And then you come in and you're the secret weapon.
But the difference would be when they're buying leads, they get phone numbers, where this would be more of an email nurture.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a different animal.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Richard's over there going, he looks like the guy going, there it comes.
Well, John, what you got to do is, the whole thing that you're one of the things that you've always talked about, John, is planting your seeds and planting your seeds. And quantum is such a low price point for so much AI horsepower in so many different ways. That's a big seed to plant, because if what we're doing is specializing in high end special AI tools, what better way to nurture them? But here's your AI buffet. Play with us, and if you find a tool you need, I'll build you a tool, and then then next step and next step and next step, and you're in an AI parallel to your wedding dress gal. You've got years and years of stuff that you can just keep adding on and adding on, particularly if you're doing God mode, where every time they need something, you say, okay, here you go. And there's another cha-ching. I guess charging $500 a month wouldn't be too much to build a custom AI tool for somebody. And I don't think it's going to cost me $500 to build it.
No, it costs you about 5 minutes.
John, for exposure what are your thoughts on social media, Instagram, TikTok, for bringing the client to the proposed white label? What are your thoughts on that? YouTube, Reels, Shorts, all that.
It's basically, it comes down to the traffic channel. you've got to figure out where your audience lives.
Yeah.
Like with Act T, that's the traffic portion. And the traffic portion always rolls back to the beginning of the analysis of who it is you're targeting, where they are, what they're doing. You've got to find them.
So
Like,
assuming we know that, because I found you, John, on YouTube. Thank God I did, because it's been a great thing so far. But I mean, I'm listening to a lot. I do a lot of YouTubing and not much on the other ones. But I know we're generally younger. They're all kind of leveling out in a weird way. TikTok used to be for really young people, and the dog falling over. But now it's a lot of older people are using that platform. So I think that the client, the avatar is kind of leveling out. It's not so much young or old.
like the reason that you found me on YouTube was you were a do-it-yourselfer. You're looking to how do I do something?
Yeah,
Right? How do I do? And that's where people go is onto YouTube.
right.
I think they go to TikTok to learn how to do something.
No, well,
They
you're
go
right.
to TikTok to look at funny cat videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's okay. And I mean, are you posting once a day? Like I've heard so many different things. One video a day, 9 posts a day, threads, Instagram, Twitter. What are you doing right now?
I don't post squat.
Huh. And your revenue is up. I mean, you're finding plenty of customers and stuff.
The only thing I post really is our weekly call videos, and although they are public, they're not really promoted. No one would really know to find them. Like you found it just by chance.
Yeah.
I don't really have a social media machine, so to speak, doing um I don't know, like Brady right now is doing a bunch of stuff, I think with Franken AI and some other AI stuff to run out and promote with his affiliate links. So any promotion of Internet Dominators is probably either done through him or Connie, to promote through affiliate links so they can increase their revenues. But me myself, I never have marketed that way. I've been very, very transparent and upfront with you guys in how I've always grown my business. And I've always done it through affiliates. I will find the guy that has my market. He's already paid and built it. And I will go and I'll cut a deal with him, say, hey, I can provide value to your audience and put money in your pocket at the same time and make you look like a hero. That's how I've done it every time, every step of the way since day one in this industry. That's how I've done it.
You mean like find someone on Instagram, follow him, DM him. Hey, I like what you posted. I reposted it. Would you be interested in reciprocal situation, or pay him to post it again?
No, it's none of that. It's never reciprocal. It's never pay for it. It's pay by performance. It's an affiliate relationship.
Oh.
So what I'll do is I'll find somebody, like for instance in the SEO world. I'll find a guy, if I want to sell my SEO software, I'll find a guy that is doing SEO training and he's got a big following. He's built a following that he sells SEO training to. He doesn't necessarily have SEO software, so I'm not competing with him. I'll go in and say, hey, how would you like to, offer my SEO software to your group and make a boatload of money doing it? I'll provide a highly valuable webinar for your people and teach them how to use the software to do what you're trying, what they want to do. They want to rank higher.
And what platforms did you prefer? YouTube, Instagram, Twitter? I mean, what were the
I
what?
would always do Zoom to do the webinars. I don't care where they are. I
No,
don't
I
care.
mean finding the
Oh,
person that you wanted to partner
I
with.
would usually find them just in the industry. They're industry professionals. They're the people that are speaking on stages. They're the ones that are out in your face.
Huh. Not particularly on a YouTube channel is what I'm saying, or an
No,
Instagram account.
no, I don't think I've ever found anybody in social media.
Where would you find them then? Just Google search?
Like
SEO? I'm trying to
they're
find that.
they're the industry, they're the top of the industry. They keep showing up in front of you. You don't have to look for them. See, the thing is, they're doing the hunting. If you get in their crosshairs, they're going to be all over you. That's the guy I want.
Yeah, like a Alex Ramosi or something
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. Because he's the one that's not afraid of hard work. I'm fucking terrified of hard work. I want no part of that. I want to
Yeah,
find
if
that
you're gonna
guy
try,
and
if you're gonna try,
use his hard work to sell my stuff.
Got it. Okay. That's clear. Yeah, I understand it now.
if you're gonna do social media posting, you really need to go listen to Alex Homoji's stuff about social media posting and all that stuff, and just know that he's kind of getting it dialed in. He posts somewhere between, I think he said 40 and 50 pieces of content a day.
Yes.
So good luck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
that thing.
that's the kind of guy you want. You want the guy that's insane, the one that's going to spend his whole life building a list for you. And then that's what makes it worth his time to do that is he finds opportunities to make money because he was willing to do that.
Got it.
I'm more like lightning. I take the path of least resistance, not the most resistance.
Yeah.
I'm like lightning, it's like one strike, boom, it's over, and the tree is gone. And nobody knew what happened.
Well, I like the product being the white label quantum idea with God mode. I mean that to me it seems like a very marketable something that we could go after clients like Hormozy or whoever the industry leader is. I mean, I'm really excited to see that. Hopefully it comes out real soon.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. How would you guys like to have it within the next 24 hours?
Yes. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I, all right. I'll see if I can make that happen.
You're the man, John. You're the man.
If I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be ugly. It ain't going to be pretty in 24 hours, but it'll be ready.
Thank you.
It'll be pretty over the next couple of weeks, but
You could see a bunch of men smiling right now over there on the screens. I That's for sure. Thank you, John.
absolutely. This is going to be a hell of a ride. This has been a hell of a year. I got to tell you, this has probably been one of the best years I can ever remember, really, in business. Just the opportunity. Not necessarily like I've made more money in the past, it's not about the money, it's just about the opportunity, the ease of access, and just, this is easy money. It's just like raining from the sky at this point.
That's the best kind of money, John.
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, I've done construction my whole life, and as an owner, it was a lot easier than when I was digging the ditch. I'll tell you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I had it was a family friend that was in construction, and we called him Uncle Milty, even though he wasn't actually my uncle. And, when I was a teenager, he had one of his workers got hurt, and he was a man down. So my dad offered me up to go work with him and help him for a week. And oh my God, that was the only time in my life I actually worked with my back.
Yep.
And, he said, yeah, I don't even think he paid me. I was just doing it to help him out. He said, I'll pick you up at 5. And I'm like, 5 what?
5 a.m.
Yes, baby, that's right.
John, do you have photos? Those I'd love to see.
No, there is no evidence of that. But the first day, I mean, I was just flat work to the bone. I was just brutalized. Then he wants to do it again the next day.
Yeah.
And on the third day, I remember the third day, we're driving home and I was just freaking exhausted. And he's given me a lecture about how I need to work with my head, not my back, because my head will last forever and my back's going to wear out. And on the fourth day, when I got out of the truck, he said, "I'll see you in the morning." I said, "No, you won't." I,
Yeah.
I said, "Tomorrow I'm going to work with my head." And he goes, "You little rat bastard, I didn't mean now."
Yeah, construction's tough, man. I've been doing it since my teens. I
I said,
remember,
"I'm a fast learner, and you showed me the way."
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of Ben Gay, a lot of Ben Gay back in the day.
yeah. Our lead foreman would bring Budweiser to the site after the day, just so you knew you drink those beers, you're not going out, you're sleeping, you know. So it would be that. The other one I learned was if your hands are in your pockets, they're in my pockets. It's like, hey, you better get to work, guy. No pockets.
But that was my illustrious career of hard labor lasted 4 days.
Yeah, that's a good lesson. I think everybody should do that.
Oh man, I learned
Eh,
it well too. I listened to every word he had to say. And
That's why I'm looking at quantum to, get regionally independent. I want to travel, work from wherever I have an internet connection. That's really, kind of where I'm looking at this quantum, and especially the God mode thing. It's going to really expand horizon and get out of just trying to be. I've been so locked down to an area,
yeah, I
managing
mean,
construction.
you guys have seen where you'd ask for a tool and I've got it up 10 minutes later. That's God mode.
well, and the beauty of that, like you were saying, is you're not restricted to staying in one place. You can actually go to another country, stay there 6 months, have a great time. But you're looking for access to internet first. That's one of the prerequisites. You gotta have a good access to the internet, but that's the beauty of it too.
That's the idea. Are any of you guys doing that kind of thing right now? I mean, how's that lifestyle looking?
Planning it.
Yeah, geez, that's the dream, being Cabo, San
Por-
Lucas, and
Portugal,
money.
Portugal,
There you
Portugal.
go, Philippines.
That's why I
Hey,
have Starlink on my boat. I can go anywhere I want.
That's awesome.
hey, John, I just want to share quick how what I'm doing. So, I did a proof of concept for um, a business organization I'm a part of, and presenting quantum. So we started with a fixtures business, and a typical startup, real world scenario. Walk through them, a couple of the tools, the video, the other stuff, the CRM, all the value that you're going to get, and they were chomping at the bit by the end of the meeting. So you create an evergreen webinar. You set that webinar up so you're making money while you're on the beach. Webinar's doing all the work for you. It's selling quantum. Once people see it, they see the value, they're going to want it, and then they're going to ring you up and they're going to be calling you, and you're going to be on the beach in Cabo with the Philippines making money while your webinar is doing all the hard work for you. So
Yeah.
this tool,
Ideally,
this
they're
sells
not even,
itself.
yeah, ideally, they're not even calling you. They're just clicking the link and buying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because like the way I've got it set up, I do this all the time. Whenever I sell something, it may be the product might be in Kartra or not. Like Quantum's outside of Kartra. It's not a Kartra product, but I use Kartra to wrap it. So I make the sale in Kartra. I set Quantum up as a product for sale in Kartra. So it makes the sale, it delivers the emails, it gives, and then in Kartra, I create a membership site. So the membership site is not part of Quantum, it's a membership site in Kartra that I can provide training, access, support, uh, ticket systems, all of that stuff. So I use Kartra to wrap all my products. The challenge is you have to use the Kartra APIs and stuff to connect to your outside stuff. Like I've got SEO software, I've got Acquisition Air, I've got Quantum, I have all these programs that are there's software that operates outside. So when an order comes in with Quantum, what it is, I use Zapier to make my connection from Kartra to Quantum. So when an order comes in, it's got a tag on it based on the level of Quantum that they purchased. Based on that tag, it goes over to the Quantum software and creates an account and gives that person access to that level account. And Kartra does all of its stuff all totally on autopilot. Creates the membership site, gives them access, sends them the intro emails, does the billing. If somebody's billing doesn't go through and they cancel out, it removes the tag that granted them access to begin with. It adds a new tag that says past Quantum customer. That tag now triggers Zapier to go over to Quantum and remove their access. So it's all intermingled. So it can seem overwhelming if you look at it like all as one just big giant pie. But I always tell everybody, if you got to eat an elephant, yeah, eat them one bite at a time. I didn't do all of that in one day. I did it piece at a time. And that's what I've gotten really good at over the years is like I can formulate all these pieces in my head and then just start putting them together.
Hey, John, but do we
Richard
have
hates that.
but do we have to take Quantum from one location and bring it over to Kartra? Can't we just put it in Kartra?
It's a standalone program that runs on a separate server, so it's not going to run inside of Kartra.
Oh, okay.
So, and it has its own, like Quantum has its own system for giving access. If I made it open, which it's not an open access platform. If I did open access, then yeah, you could just drop it into a membership area in Kartra and off you'd go. You could do that.
So how do you see it rolling out realistically for us to sell it and still retain control?
So it's the same way that when I originally rolled it out, it wasn't part of Kartra. It was an MVP, minimum viable product. So it was a standalone sitting on the server running. I would still sell it through Kartra. So you have to have some sort of a mechanism to sell it. So you've got to have some sort of a shopping cart to sell it.
Kartra.
Well, Kartra works fine, but it doesn't have to be Kartra. I mean, you could use PayPal. You could have as simple as just a PayPal button if you wanted to. You got to have something to take the money. Whatever you're selling, got to have a way to take the money. So with that in mind, what I started doing was I was taking the money in Kartra, and then every time an order would come through, I would just manually go over and grant access to that person. Didn't seem like a very big deal until I had to do 200 of them. And then I'm like, all right, I've done this exercise enough. I'm good at it. I don't need to be a pro at creating accounts and granting access. And I could have just passed that off to the team. I know Connie would do that in a heartbeat, or Brady, but it's like, why burden them with a menial task that I could have Zapier do? So I went in. I'd never used Zapier before. I used it like long, long time ago just to play with it. But it worked perfectly. It integrates into Kartra. You pick the tag over here, you tell it what you want it to do, and it just worked. It was really it was an easy process to set it up. It wasn't difficult at all. But again, it's eating the elephant one bite at a time. That Zapier integration was one bite of the elephant. So
Right.
since I already had the rest of the elephant chewed up, there was only one bite left. It was easy. So with those of you that are going to do are going to want to do the enterprise, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to eat the elephant for you. We'll sit down for 3 days and we'll chomp that dude up and he'll be done.
Any idea what that's going to cost? I mean, just broad terms.
It's probably going to be about 3,000. If you're an apprentice, it'll probably be 1,000. I've got a few apprentices and I think a couple of them are going to want to do that. So that's probably what I'm thinking for the enterprise level. White label won't be anything close to that. White label will be a piece of cake. So, I think Richard likes the idea of cake versus elephants, but
Absolutely. And the big thing is with the white label that gives you an entry point to get to the enterprise as quickly as you need to. And you may not even need to do that, because if we're doing some version of, AI 101, come here and learn about AI. And by the time you get through this thing, you'll know exactly what you can and can't do with AI, what you would want to do and not want to do with AI. And if you want to program, you can just do the whole thing. And I like the idea of your weekly calls is a great way, because if this was an office hours kinds of calls and you're working with one product, the AI thing that can take you anywhere at one thing. And on the other side, if someone's having some problem with a particular, one of the tools in quantum, just do it on the call and everybody on the call gets to see how to learn how to use that tool. I mean, it's just wonderful. And the weekly call would probably handle most of your support issues if you wanted to do it. And it's an opportunity to just completely keep nurturing your entire customer base and keeping them engaged. I mean, I can do a weekly call. Hell, I'd like the idea of having a weekly conference with a bunch of friends and giggle and laugh and do all the same kind of stuff that we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we're, like you said, productive and learning. One of the things I like about I know there's other ways to get quantum out there, like the gentleman said, Craig, I think it was, about, set up a great evergreen presentation and do a webinar and have it working for you. That's one angle, and that's a great angle. But I actually enjoy, and I think the people I'm speaking to actually enjoy the interaction where I'm actually teaching and showing the excitement, because it builds all this anticipation and they're ready. It's one thing, webinars are great, and I'll probably do that as well, because what Craig was talking about. But I think I enjoy speaking to each of those, walking them through the process. For example, I walked a young lady the other day through the process that you shared with us in terms of how to go about when you're actually starting the sales process. So we actually started at market segmenter, and I walked her all the way through to the bonus builder. I think I went as far as, I think we ran out of time at bonus builder, but she actually, the light came on for her in terms of going in and typing in and actually doing it herself.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time it was over, she was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." So you could do that one-on-one, because I actually was doing it as part of the coaching process. But I'm also seeing the advantage of doing it in a live setting at my events and stuff. And now I'm being asked to come out and just speak to AI,
Yeah.
to this
Well,
quantum AI.
anything that you do, like that one-on-one is awesome. You guys should record everything.
Oh yes, I record it.
Everything you do, you should record, because that one-on-one, as valuable as that was for that one person, you could turn that into an evergreen webinar
Hmm.
where everyone could get that value. And, every time you provide value, you have a chance to make a sale.
True. The only difference there for me, John, is I have to remember to ask permission, because if they're a coaching client, our coaching sessions are private. So I would have to remember that if it is about quantum, I'll have to get permission. Yep.
Yeah.
Brandon, where are you finding your leads? How are you finding the people to go on these one-on-ones with.
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, I'm just curious with
Well,
the
so far, well, I run a mastermind, number one. So I started a mastermind a year ago.
in what is
And
it, like in school or something? What is it?
no, it's a mastermind. It's a mastermind group, just basically like we're doing here with John. What really John is doing is a mastermind group, really. I mean, we're calling it whatever he's calling it, but this is the same thing as a mastermind group.
It's
Mine
just
is a paid Mine's a paid mastermind group, and it's targeting entrepreneurs, business owners, creative community, and aspiring speakers because I'm a speaker and a coach. So they're now going out and letting their people know and in bringing people into the mastermind, and at the same time going, oh my God, you got to hear about quantum AI. So that's one avenue. In addition to that, I'm a Toastmaster. So Toastmasters clubs are asking me to come out and speak to quantum AI. And I've been holding back, like John's been holding back. I've been holding back because part of that is it's going to take a lot of time to go out and do this. And I don't want to get drugged down the rabbit hole with just quantum, even as great as it is, because there's some other things I'm doing as well. So, but I hope that answers your question in a quick way.
Yeah, you just gave me a great idea, Randy.
Awesome. How much we going to make on it?
A lot. So,
That's awesome.
everybody's been asking me to make a gamma tool, and gamma is just too freaking good. It would cost me a fortune to recreate gamma as a tool. So it's not really a viable option for an MVP. But here's what I could do. Remember, I said I have the ability now for you to put your own buttons in the quantum panel. You could go over to Gamma, sign up to be an affiliate, get your affiliate link, create a Gamma button and put it in your quantum tool set, and have a section of additional paid tools. Like here's the tools in the set, and then here's some tools we recommend for extra additional horsepower.
That could be. What is Gamma? If you tell me what that is
Yeah.
again.
Gamma is an AI tool that creates presentations, basically just from a keyword. It'll create a beautiful presentation. You could do either a PDF or you could turn it into a webinar. You can turn it into a PowerPoint presentation.
So a webinar that I would have to record myself speaking
Correct.
to the script
Yeah,
that they generate. Is that what it is?
correct.
So,
And
so,
the
so,
other the other thing, like in the last probably 2 months, I've thrown this idea out multiple times, and a few people have done it and had good results with it. But what I say is you go to Perplexity or first go to Quantum and figure out your avatar, get your buyer profile, get all that stuff, and then move that whole chunk of information into Perplexity and say, here's my buyer profile, here's what I'm doing,
mhm.
here's the product. I need to create a presentation. And the first step is I need a PowerPoint. Could you give me the outline for a PowerPoint presentation in, let's say, 12 slides? I need you to make the slides, title the slides, give me the bullet points for the slides. You're not writing a whole presentation. I just need the slide deck. Give me the image prompt for each slide, and then it outputs that. It'll give you a text file output from Perplexity. You can take that over to Gamma, drop that into Gamma, and then Gamma will format you an absolutely gorgeous PowerPoint presentation,
Including the pictures?
including the pictures. Yes.
Are they doing video like Runway is
It's
yet?
not video. It's just it'll do it's basically a PowerPoint presentation outline. Then you go back to Perplexity and you say, now could you provide me the script in chunks, just the text script for each slide? And then you get that output. Then you can go back to Quantum, go into the Video Genesis tool, and you put the script in there, and now it'll create the voiceover for you. And now you've got a full-fledged out video. You can go in, you can cut up all the image tiles from the PowerPoint presentation and drop those into the video, change out the video images that Genesis creates. And now you've got a full-fledged presentation video.
Webinar, possibly.
Correct.
BSL.
All done with AI.
Wow.
Very minimal human interaction other than the prompting.
Hey, John, quick note. Gamma is so ridiculous that you don't even need the image prompts. It intuitively looks at your text and generates ridiculous images that align with
Yeah.
it. So I
Yeah.
use Gamma. It replaced Typeset, Designer, and Canva, that one tool. And it not
Yeah.
only does presentations, it'll do ebooks, social media posts,
Yep.
everything. So yeah, Gamma is ridiculous. I highly suggest you get into it.
It'll do websites too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yep.
If you want to format like a website, now I wouldn't recommend using it for the code of your website, but for the design.
Yep.
So what you can do is you can get the design the way you want it, and then I give the design to my development team, and then they build that into a website. They turn it on.
Oh, you just turned the light on for me for a new client.
Yeah.
I sent you an email about a new client, so two emails actually, but this falls into there maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Gamma it's a phenomenal design tool.
Well, see, I thought it was just PowerPoint and I didn't do anything else with it
Nope.
other than PowerPoint.
It's it's more than PowerPoint, it's powerful.
Well, now I'm going to have to go get the paid version and check it out.
Yeah, it's not very expensive. It's a cheap tool. But it's phenomenal. It's probably one of the best tools I've seen for creating, well, it is by far the best tool I've ever seen for creating PowerPoint presentations. But it has a lot of use case, for designing websites and even lead magnets. Like that was what Shanta used to create her lead magnet, the travel guide. And literally all you have to do is give it a keyword. Just like I don't know what her prompt was, but she could have just put in travel packing guide, and it would just boom, create your presentation on that.
You find that better than a Chat GPT?
Well, Chat GPT is not going to create you a beautiful presentation. It'll give you text.
Right. Well, I was talking about for like the hooks and lead thing.
I've actually found that the text that is generated in Gamma is pretty spot on generally.
Humanized, doesn't sound like a robot.
Well, it's not giving you the actual script, it's giving you the outline for the presentation. Then you can take that over to Perplexity and then you can get it to write your script for you. So it's combining the tools. Like there's not like just one tool fits all. There's a lot of different tools that are at our disposal. And for us as professionals, understanding the tools and the tool sets and using the right tool for the right job is what's going to make you a professional. That's what's going to set you head and shoulders above the rest. Because the rest of the world has not figured this out yet. The rest of the world knows about Chat GPT, and they think it's a one size fits all, does everything. And Chat GPT is just a general purpose bot. It's not specialized in anything. If you don't prompt it and create a specialized GPT out of it, it's just going to be generic garbage. And that's what most of the world is doing. They're creating generic garbage. So for you, this is a great time to be in this industry. It's like you're the one that knows what you're doing. The rest of them don't. Like in the beginning, I remember when I first got onto the online space, and there was a handful of people that actually knew how to develop websites, and they could build anything. And then there was the guys that knew how to use a template, and they were like a one-trick pony. And they were, they were cookie cuttering out stuff, but it was garbage. And they all looked the same. And it didn't take long before people discerned that. And they're like, oh yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want a real website. And if you were the guy that was offering the thing they wanted and no one else was, that's a really good time to be in business. That's a good niche to be in. So that's kind of where we're at right now. You guys have a huge, huge opportunity. And the people out there that are selling stuff, the marketing materials are coming out like a mile a minute right now about AI and AI courses and AI certifications. Last night, I bought a certification training for AI. The marketing looked phenomenal. The marketing looked like, oh my God, I'm going to learn so much from this. This is awesome. And then I bought it and I got the course, and it was like a 3-day course to go through. And then I saw in the outline, it's like, oh, I can skip right to the certification test. And you can take it as many times as you want. If you don't pass, you just take it again. So I thought, well, let me just see what's on the test. I didn't go through 1 second of the content of the course yet. I just jumped right to the test. The test questions were so basic. I already knew all the answers to them. I think I missed a couple and basically got certified without even opening their training. So I got an AI certification without ever even looking at their training. That's how simple and basic it is, and people are selling this shit. So don't think that you need to, like where you guys are at, you're so far ahead of everyone else. Stop thinking you need to go keep buying other stuff to increase your level. You're already there. Just do what you know how to do and kill it. Don't wait. Don't wait for a year till everyone else has a chance to catch up to you. You've got such a lead right now. Front run. This is the time to front run and take advantage of the lead that you have. You have a massive head start, a massive advantage over everyone else right now. So, all right. Well, anything else before we wrap it up for today? I know you guys want me to get to work and get that white label out for you. All right. Anything else before we wrap her up? All right, guys. I think we are in good to go. Be back on next week. And before that, look for emails. This is not a week to ignore my emails. You're going to get some good emails. So we will talk to you all soon. Have a great week.
Thanks.